Now, welcome to the S100 is video podcast. If you're not available to get my stuff on Spotify or Anchor, you could also catch me on my YouTube. These content creation videos for me, or the way I do them through voice activation, are very interesting to people. Because as you can see, my hands are, for lack of a better word, filled with neuropathy. Therefore, a lot of my phones back in the day used to get shorted out. Now, that's due to the reason for them getting shorted out. That's due to me using my chin and my nose to control the phone. Now, I used to go through phones every 2, 3, 4 months. I would be lucky if they lasted me 2 years. Now, with the advancement of voice technology, how I'm coming to you now, I could just say with the click of a button, show numbers, and it will bring up boxes of numbers that correlate with the button on my phone. Now, what this allows me to do is A, not have a shortage of my chargers, because I used to have to lift it up with my nose. I used to get water damage 99% of the time. Now it's lovely. Now, voice technology has come a long way. Now, voice technology is come a long way, but I think we could get better and make it more handy-capable friendly for our content creators that are in wheelchairs like me. I'm not the only one who needs the voice technology. So I am calling out Apple. I am calling out Facebook. I am calling out any tech company that is unaware of this very notable but forgotten problem for all users. Now, a little bit of background for you. I am a quadriplegic. I am 27 years old. I do music. Now, thanks to the voice technology, I'm able to control every aspect of my mobile studio, which is my phone, and the room around me with voice activation. Now, the problem with that is the three problems with this is we need a way to get rid of the background noise so they're able to hear us better. We need a more substantial way of making the apps accessible, or the software accessible, or the interfaces of websites to disabled people. I think what people fail to realize is we don't have use of our hands. I have very limited use of my hands, but I have more use of my right hand than my left. And if you could see here, let me, turn the camera so you could see my left hand. It'll take me a minute because I gotta maneuver. Bear with me. Hold on. Now, this is very tough for me. You could follow me on my TikTok, and I will personally show you how my left hand's defective. As you can see, my right hand's more open, but here's my left hand. We call that neuropathy. See, it took me a minute to get it in the frame because it's very hard for me doing this one-handed. I have both my hands, but both my hands are very limited. My voice is like my third thumb. It's the way I do things, the way I write stuff down. And the reason why this YouTube video is so long is because nobody's talked about this. Now, I'm not only doing this for me as a person that needs this, I'm doing this for other disabled people as well. Of all disabilities, I have been able to make music due to my voice technology, like I said, but voice technology has to get better as we advance with the times, because people evolutionize, not only with the time changes and as periods, but we evolutionize and we change as people, and our needs change. Now, if we could get these companies to come with visual aids, verbal prompts for the blind, I'm lucky that I could use my voice and I have my sight, and I could feel everything, thank God. But there's certain people a lot worse off than me that want to get into this sort of field that I'm in now that can't do it because their disability is severe. There's different levels of severity. There's visual severity, there's physical severity, but we don't let that define us. But like, the voice technology has to change with the individual or any sort of aid that these companies provide. I'm not just calling out Apple, I'm calling out vape companies, because I smoke too. For years, I've smoked out of a copper straw. I'm 27 years old. And yes, I've drunk beer, I've sipped wine, and I need a vaporizer that doesn't have a button. I need a wine glass that attaches to a table and allows me to roll up without moving. I need a way to have a beer bottle that's not gonna drop on me or spill. These are my call to action. I'm a normal individual in a wheelchair that happens to suffer from only physical challenges. I am mentally lucid, as you can see. This is my apartment. I'm shooting the video from my apartment, and it's also where I work on my content creation. Now, in these disability expos, we came a long way. It shows us different technology that we can use in and outside the home. But non-targeting tech companies and adults that have their wits about them, such as myself. And I'm not saying those that are nonverbal shouldn't be able to participate. I'm saying that it should be equal for all of us. Some of us are able to smoke, some of us are able to drink, like myself, like the people that I associate with. And I'm just here to tell you, this should be a more inclusive world. Now, sadly, most of you are going to watch this video and give it a few minutes of your time. Even though I'm going to publish it, it's not going to result in any call to action. But then there's going to be that one person that watches this video and actually does something. And that's what I'm doing in my capacity, is advocating for the disabled community. Not just as a musician and a better seeking technology user, but just as a normal individual that happens to have a lot of these obstacles. See, what you gotta realize, ladies and gentlemen, is we live in an able-bodied society. And I don't mind living in an able-bodied world. I met so many great people that are able-bodied, including my partner, that I speak about on my podcast. But going back to what I'm saying right here is this world is not meant for disabled people. And we have minds. We have, and viewer discretion advised, we have wants and sexual desires and way beyond the normal desires. And we just want to be treated like normal adults. If we have our faculties surrounded by us, or if we are deemed to be mentally competent and lucid, we should be able to have a beer with no spillage. I don't care if I have to wear a Christmas hat with tubes coming out of it in the middle of Halloween. If it means drinking a can of beer, watching a football game. My point being, ladies and gentlemen, is we have desires, just like every single one of you And I'm tired of these companies, the tobacco companies, the vaping companies, these technology companies, any company that I've mentioned, such as Apple, such as Facebook. And I'm probably gonna get banned for this when I post this video up. And viewer discretion advice. I just don't give a blank. Because this has to be discussed. And if you know anything about S100, I make no bones about it. I shoot my content out of my living room. Pretty good backdrop. You know, I got my Facebook portal. I got my iPad that needs to be updated. Tim Cook, Sheryl Sandberg. You gotta update your technology. Jeff Bezos. I have a lot of your technology. And even though I use it and greatly appreciate it, it sometimes sucks. And I rely heavily.
Fix my Yankee Candle. Oh, it totally fixed my Yankee Candle. Yay!
And apparently, on a side note, the matriarch fixed the Yankee Candle.
I did. You know what? It's a Macintosh Apple Yankee Candle, which happens to be my favorite smell from Yankee Candle. Macintosh Apple. Hashtag matriarch. Macintosh Apple. I had this candle for about 5 years now, 6 years, and I would not throw it out. But it had melted in my car, and so the wick was never accessible to use it as a candle. But I always kept it, and every now and then I would just open the top and take a whiff of this incredible Macintosh Apple replica in a candle, and I always love it, no matter what. So today, I put it in the microwave on defrost, and I used two wooden skewers that you would use in catering, because I cater, and so I have that stuff. And I just put it in there and I stirred it like a fucking soup. I just stirred it and until the wick was visible, and then I used it like chopsticks, and I brought it up to the sides. I pulled the wick out. I made a little more soup out of the melted wax. I dropped the wick back to the bottom, and right now I'm waiting for it to solidify, and it's perfectly in the center. And you know what? It's a stupid little thing, but it's a $25 fucking candle, man. I don't want to throw it out. I don't want to not use it. And Yankee Candle certainly isn't going to replace it because it melted in my car. And it's my favorite smell. And I'm really excited. Right now it's sitting and cooling in front of the window. It's 58 degrees out, and that's what I got.
But
Fix the candle.
But
And I didn't Google it. I used my noodle. Because people that were born in 1970, we don't need Google. We are natural people that are, what am I, Jim? MacGyver. I'm a natural MacGyver.
Oh my God, right, yeah.
Now, so tomorrow for you people, if you want, I will light my candle.
Now,
when it solidifies. But I'm going to go outside right now, because I have wax on my fingernails.
And happy birthday to the matriarch
Thank you. It's not yet, but yes, thank you.
on October 12th.
Coming close.
But back to
I
the,
got a birthday. Hey, I just got a birthday card from Kathy and Tony Trapani, because Kathy never, ever misses a birthday card. Ever.
shout out to the
Yeah, it's crazy.
Traponies.
I've gone a couple of years where I did not get a card from anybody. Not a recognition, not a nothing. But I always got a card from Kathy. And I got my birthday card today. It was very exciting. But I'll be back.
Back to the video at hand, ladies and gentlemen. These tech companies, sorry for that little brief pause in the content, but I feel like it's needed. And I will talk to you a little bit about the matriarch and what I plan to do. That woman has jerry rigged the shelf so I could play video games. That woman has made accessible devices so I could vacuum. Duct tape the vacuum to my hand. This was before I had the technology that I have now. And I'm not rich, I'm not poor, I'm comfortable. But these companies need to get better with the voice technology and voice activation. Now, I will say this.